This passage is about hurricanes that hit Florida and how Florida has been affected by more people living there and other the hurricanes hitting it. All right. Let's quickly read and summarize the passage and then answer the questions. Boats on roofs, cars out to sea, coastal towns underwater. The sand from Naples Beach now chokes Naples streets. Hurricane Ian's 150 mph winds yanked houses off their foundation in Fort Myers, a pretty town once known for its avenues of royal palm. So, Hurricane Ian hit Florida, and you see all kinds of damage it has done, where you see boats on roofs, you see cars in the sea. Not just that, houses have been uprooted from their foundation. And this Fort Myers was a very pretty town known for its royal palms. As many as 50 people reportedly are dead in Florida, in some of our glossiest, most affluent, most densely populated communities. Survivors now sift through their ruins of their slice of paradise. People, survivors who in the most glossiest and most affluent areas of the richest areas of Florida, survivors of the hurricane are trying to sift through the debris to find out, this was my paradise, what little is left in this destruction. Up north in Tallahassee, where I live, so this is what has happened in Naples, Fort Myers. Up north, where the author is staying, we were just beyond Ian's western reach. This hurricane was just, the author is living in a place called Tallahassee, which went just beyond the hurricane's range of damage. But a few days ago, it looked as if the storm was heading straight for us. When the hurricane actually hit, it didn't hit them. But before that, they thought that the hurricane would hit them. Like most everyone else in Florida, we prepped for it. We were prepared for it. We knew it could have been us. We knew it could have hit us. We just escaped. 4 years ago, this month, the particular month the author is writing the passage, 4 years ago, it was us. The author's area was hit by a hurricane. The Category 5 Hurricane Michael rode ashore at Mexico Beach, drowning the coast with a 20-foot surge, laying waste to the land all the way into Georgia. So 4 years ago, a hurricane hit them, Hurricane Michael, and that had destroyed land all the way up to Georgia. A pecan tree fell on my mother's house, and an old cedar barely missed mine. Huge trees, these are pecan, cedar, these are huge trees, and they fell on the houses. One fell on the author's mother's house, and the author's house barely missed a fallen tree. Before the climate began to warm so precipitously, so suddenly, Florida got pretty cold in winter. Not Wisconsin cold, but some years it snowed. Horrified northerners stepping for the night on their way home to a new life couldn't wait to get back on the road to the tropical Eden promised by their realtors. In recent years, so when northerners came to stop for the night on their way down to a new life, they couldn't wait to get back to the tropical Eden promised by their realtors. In recent years, almost 1,000 people have moved to Florida every day, drawn by comparatively cheap property, no state income tax, and for some, Florida's belligerent politics. So many reasons why people come to Florida. But many incomers are seduced. Many people who come to Florida are seduced, are lured, are attracted by the fantasy of endless summer and never having to shovel snow again. So the author says, in the past, before climate change happened, warming happened, Florida did get cold in winter, and people who crossed Florida used to be horrified by the cold of Florida. But obviously, it means now it is because of global warming, things are not like that. All right. In recent years, people are moving to Florida because it's warm and it's inhabitable. Okay. And for other reasons, which the authors mentioned. Florida's population has been mushrooming for decades. That means been growing really. In 1960, not quite 5 million people lived here. Now it's nearly 22 million. mostly wanting to settle as close to water as they can afford. The Florida dream is that when you go out of your condo balcony, when you look out over your condo balcony, you see the Gulf or the Atlantic or a lake ringed by cypresses. In the 1960s, only 5 million were there. Now it's 22 million. And the dream that people have when they come to settle in Florida is that they can just stand on the balcony of their apartment or condo and they can see a lake or the sea, or all the beautiful scenery that they can see. Killer hurricanes don't figure in this visions of sea and sun, so they don't even think of killer hurricanes. The problem is that this torrent of people, so more and more people keep coming to Florida because of all the promise of this beautiful scenery. But the problem is that the torrent of people, the rush, the big flood of people, numbers, huge numbers of people, endangers what they come for. They come for something, and with more and more people coming to Florida for what it promises, they are endangering that very thing. They're endangering Florida and its beautiful conditions. The sugar sand beaches, the boating, the fishing, the charismatic wildlife, all this. They're endangering all that. As the population increases, all these are endangered. In Florida's beauty lies Florida's downfall. What is the reason for Florida's downfall? It's beauty. More and more people are coming. With more and more people, the beauty is going. And the author will explain how. For more and more people to live here, we must destroy more and more of the land. The once plentiful marshes and swamps filtered surface water and slowed down flooding. But Florida has destroyed nearly half of its wetlands since 1845. So to give space for people to live, more and more land is destroyed. Wetlands and marshes of Florida have been destroyed. We've drained, paved, and built on them. Mangrove trees stabilize coastlines, provide habitat for all kinds of animals, and mitigate storm surges. So, mangrove trees do all these. These are trees that grow in wetlands and swamps, right? Yet, developers sometimes abetted by the State Department of Environmental Protection. There's a Department of Environmental Protection which is supposed to stop this. But developers are helped by this Environment Protection Department, rip out mangrove forests and erect ineffective sea walls. So this is how Florida is being destroyed. There are some 3 million more people in Florida than there were in 2010. A population surge that is depleting the Floridan aquifers. The drinking water sources, the aquifers of Florida are where people of Florida get drinking water from. 90% of Floridans get drinking water from the aquifers. But these aquifers are being destroyed faster than they can replenish themselves. They're being depleted. The water in the aquifers is going down faster than it can be refilled. We pump too much out of the ground, allowing salt water to seep in. When you drain out the water, underground water, what is seeping in? The sea water. So salt water comes into the aquifers. Rivers and lakes are choking under mats of noxious blue-green algae. So what's happening to our rivers and lakes? There's blue-green algae. Lots of them. Why does he call them blue-green algae is dangerous for marine life, right? Produced by runoff from overbuilding, farming, and all that miracle glow we dump on our lawns and golf courses. It's toxic for humans. This algae is not good for us. It's toxic for humans and it kills the fish too. It hurts property values. Nobody wants to buy a house on the inland waterway or on a river that's covered in slime and stinks like rotten meat with dead manatees floating by the dock. This is what happens this is how Florida is being destroyed. Which of the following has not been mentioned or indicated as an effect of overpopulation in Florida? He said that more and more people are coming in because the beauty of Florida, and that is the reason for the downfall, and has mentioned a whole lot of reasons. Depletion of natural resources of potable waters. He's talking about how aquifers are being destroyed. Yes, A has been mentioned. Accelerated pace of flooding. He says when marshes and mangrove forests are being cut down to make space for people to live, flooding chances have become more. Deforestation is happening. Yes. Danger to wild animals. Yes. More people are there, animals will not have. So those are indicated. Increase in global temperature, this is happening worldwide. It's not just because of overpopulation in Florida. The increase in global temperatures is happening due to various factors. He has not mentioned increase in global temperature as a reason for uh, as a result of overpopulation in Florida. So Florida has been affected by A, B, C, D ways, not E. Therefore, E is my correct answer.